It's 4 o'clock in Los Angeles. It's 6 o'clock in Chicago. And it's 7 p.m. in Philadelphia. Hello, everybody. I'm Mad Dog DeCipio. This is America's Popcast. What's the buzz? Tonight, got a surprise for you. That means I'm not going to tell you yet. But before I do anything, I just got to welcome my co-host, my new producer, Big Cal Yater. Call him Callum. How are you, Cal?
I'm all right. How's it going, everybody?
I think everybody's good. I answer for the collective everybody out there. They're doing well. So what do you go to work every day, right, Cal?
Every day, Monday through Friday.
And so and when you come home, you want like a nice cold beer or a hot cup of coffee, right?
Usually a cup of coffee. I'm not really a drinker anymore.
There you go. Good for you. Good smart boy. See, I only hire smart people around here, folks. So you get around though, you see the country a little bit, right? You drive around with like Eddie Deason, name dropper.
And I'm actually
Steve Joyner, name dropper. So let me ask you a question. Have you ever been to like Mount Rushmore, like places like that, like Mount Rushmore, Las Vegas, Washington D.C. places? You've been places like that?
Unfortunately, not yet. And usually, wherever we do go, I stick to the hotel.
Yeah. Well, if you ever get a chance to venture off without Eddie, you could leave him at the hotel and, just give him a book to read about the Beatles or Elvis, and he'll be happy for a couple hours. Then when you get rid of him for a few hours, take a walk around D.C. and just look at all the amazing stuff hiding in plain sight. And that's the venture of our show tonight. Take a look at this. What's hiding in our national parks and attractions? So, why do I ask that? Because I want to tell you, something was brought up to my attention yesterday, as a matter of fact. And I had to do some research. And you know what? It's amazing when you look into stuff and, really get you like your hands dirty a little bit. There's a lot of shit out there that people don't talk about. A lot of stuff people don't know about. If they knew about it, I'm sure a lot more people will be talking about it. For example, I'll just give you like a for example. Mount Rushmore, right? Did you know that the only head on Mount Rushmore that's actually hollow is Abraham Lincoln? Did you know that, Cal?
No, I had no clue.
Did you also know, Cal, that inside Abraham Lincoln's head is what they call the Hall of History? And inside that Hall of History are actual, real documents about the founding of the United States of America? Why would they be hidden in Mount Rushmore, South Dakota, with behind Abraham Lincoln's head of all places, in the Hall of History? I'm sorry, the Hall of Records. The Hall of Records, it's called.
Because you'd have to be crazy to even try to get to it.
That's one reason. You are absolutely right. The safety factor. Do you know how well guarded with electronic surveillance that is? By the way, folks, that's next week's show. Are we all under surveillance? The answer is yes, we are. And we're going to get into that show next week. But tonight, see, Cal is at kind of a loss tonight because Cal thought we were going to do Charlie Kirk tonight, and I about had up to my eyeballs with Charlie Kirk. I'm fed up with Charlie Kirk shit. So I want to do stuff that brought us to the dance. Conspiracy shit, right, Cal?
Yes.
Now, Cal, tell me, do you know anything about Area 51?
I know that it is a highly classified government facility, and I'm just wondering why none of the whistleblowers, people that have worked at Area 51, how they're able to keep their mouths shut about what they see, besides
Well,
fear
I
of
can
death.
answer that for you. I can actually answer that for you because I have one of them whistleblowers on the show.
Oh,
Yeah. Named Bob Lazar. You know that name, Bob Lazar?
I have heard of Bob Lazar.
He's the guy that broke open Area 51. Bob Lazar is the guy not only that broke open Area 51, he told what he saw, validated what he saw, and that forced Bill Clinton, the president of the United States, to acknowledge that, yes, Area 51 does in fact exist. It's a real place. And it's not just the Groom Lake Artillery Range, which is the actual official name for Area 51. Area 51, by the way, Cal, and folks out there, Area 51 got its name because of its positioning on the map grid of Nevada. It's literally in parcel section Area 51. And that's what it's called, Area 51. So Groom Lake, what we call Area 51, is actually in Area 51.
what about areas 1 through 50?
Areas 1 through 50? How about areas 1 through 77? Because that's how many parcels there are in Nevada. 77. Only 3 of them are of interest to people. Area 51, Area 48, and a territory called S4. And we are going to get into all of that in an upcoming show because we got a show coming up called Are We Alone in the Universe? That show, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, folks, I think we're actually going to do that one tomorrow night. Or is it next week, maybe? But anyway, we'll do it next week. I think you know what? I want to find out, Cal, right now. No, guess what? That's tomorrow night, Cal. We're doing that show tomorrow night. Yep, it's going to be a good one. Are We Alone in the Universe? We're going to be talking about Area 51, Bob Lazar. Going to be talking about S4. So you got some homework to do, my friend. You got some homework to do. And maybe we'll get your girlfriend to do your homework for you and say that you can't say that the dog ate it. Shit. We have one of the things we're going to do tonight is we're going to talk about what's hiding in the national parks and attractions. Do you know where Devil's Tower, Wyoming is, Cal, if I say that to you?
Isn't that the tower from Close Encounters
of the Third Kind? Yes. That is the one in the same. Do you know that tower is man-made?
No.
That was erected in 1927. In 1927, that was erected. And I want to tell you, I might be wrong on the date. I'm going to do it. I got to ask Mr. Google right now. I do this sometimes, folks. I do this live on the air sometimes, too.
Do you remember Ask Jeeves?
What years was Devil's Tower erected? Here we go. Here we go. No, man, was I off? Holy shit. 1906, erected by Teddy Roosevelt.
Why?
And it was designated a national monument on September 24th, 1906. making it the first official monument in the United States. Now, what's special about that area? What do you know about? Well, let's say you mentioned the one thing right off the bat,
Well,
close encounters, right?
Right, and also isn't that area more geometric? Like they're more prone to,
It's and now you're right there, Cal. It is, and I'll fill in the blanks for you here. Devil's Tower, Wyoming, sits directly beneath what's called the Seven Sisters in the belt of Orion. There's 3 stars that make up the belt of Orion. Okay, 3 that you can see, 4 that you cannot see visibly. They're called the Seven Sisters. And they are geometrically and geographically located directly above Devil's Tower, Wyoming. Directly above. Just like the pyramids of Giza are directly above the Pleiades. They line up perfectly. Perfectly.
I've also heard talk about how the pyramids, how they're pointed. It's like mathematically, when you put it out on paper, it's the exact mathematical term for the speed of light.
I get where you're going with it. Yeah. Let me give everybody a little heads up here, because I don't want to get too. Look, this is what happens when you get old, folks. You got to start changing your glasses out, right? Now, these got to go on so I can read. Oh shit. Okay. So, from a conspiratorial mindset, okay, the answer to our national parks are not preserved for nature; they're preserved for containment. That is 1,000% true. The national park system was not set up for preservation. It was set up to house and contain important documentation. I just gave you an example with Mount Rushmore. And if you think for a moment, ladies and gentlemen, that I'm playing with you or that I'm kidding you, I beg you, please, go on your little Google machine, type in Abraham Lincoln's head, Mount Rushmore, and take a look what's inside Abraham Lincoln's head. Now, according to the worldview, the parks exist because they sit atop things that cannot be moved, cannot be destroyed, and cannot be publicly acknowledged. And they're absolutely 1,000% right. None of the national monuments that we're talking about can be moved. I'll give you a perfect example. The Washington Monument. It's an obelisk. It's the largest obelisk in the world. In America, of all places. You would think the largest obelisk in the world would be in Egypt, but it's not. It's in Washington, D.C. Why is that? Did you ever try moving the Washington Monument? It ain't going nowhere, brother. It ain't moving. Okay. Geography that doesn't obey the rules is a key factor. A key factor in the national parks. Why are they hiding? What can they hide? The fact that they can hide stuff should tell you everything you need to know. But I digress, because there are some people out there that aren't as smart as Big Cal and I. So we're going to tell you about it. Certain regions inside national parks exhibit persistent anomalies. For example, perfect example, Yellowstone National Park. Not where Yogi Bear lives, folks. That's Jellystone. Yellowstone National Park's in Wyoming. Okay? And it's the only park in the world with 24/7, 365 day a year, fizzing geysers that shoot hot and cold water. What a great place to hide something in plain sight. People drive past every single day in Yellowstone National Park, past national exhibits that they don't even know they're looking at. They're hidden so perfectly in plain sight. Compasses, for example, that drift or fail. If you get lost in Yellowstone National Park and you've got a compass, there's about a 99% chance your compass is going to break. In fact, there's almost 100% chance it's going to break. Go ahead, Cal.
It's the magnetic field. Oops. It's the magnetic field.
I'm going to ask you to do me a favor, bro. Bring your chair all the way up to that camera. All the way up. Because I'm losing you in your backdrop. And I want everybody to see that Johnny Depp looking face over here. There he is.
Okay, here we go.
Got.
All right, so the geomagnetic field surrounding Yellowstone, it's got to be off the charts for the break compasses. Like, what's the significance? Like, how does that happen?
Well, they talk about compasses failing, GPS dead zones that appear and disappear at will randomly, sound behaving incorrectly, voices carrying too far, or in fact, in some cases, voices that don't carry at all. And I've actually seen something that's pretty freaky to see, where a woman was talking and nothing came out of her mouth, but 12 seconds later, everything she said came back.
So it didn't have anything to do with elevation.
You can't make this up. You can't make this up.
Elevation didn't have anything to do with it?
No. Not that they're claiming anyway. Here's the other thing. Animals, both domestic animals and wild animals, avoid at all costs. They avoid specific valleys for no ecological reason. In other words, a herd of buffalo will go 3 hours out of its way just not to walk through what would take them 10 minutes. They will go out of their way to avoid certain areas because their animals are very perceptive. Animals are quite psychic.
So something's going on.
There you go. Here's another one. I said this a moment ago, and here's my proof. Restricted zones, Cal. Restricted zones disguised as the wilderness. Many parks have closed areas with no clear explanation. Why would you close an area of a park with that's seemingly just trees and bushes? Nothing there, right? Wrong. Backcountry permits subtly steer bikers and hikers away from specific coordinates. Now, you are allowed to, you can go through Yellowstone Park and you can go through all these places with a bicycle. You can hike in these areas. They are public parks. They are for your enjoyment. But they're also for the government's enjoyment too. And you know what the government likes to do? They like to play with shit. But they don't like to tell you what they're playing with. If you don't believe that, watch an episode of Stranger Things sometimes. Because that stuff is more accurate and factual than you believe. Park rangers are federal employees with law enforcement authority and unusually broad discretion. Since when? Park rangers usually fall under the Parks Department.
Yeah,
They usually only have discretion in the park.
So are these real park rangers?
Well, I never heard, I don't know, but hold on. What did I do?
You're gone.
I got it. Hold on, I got it. Where's my camera? Hey, heck no. Oh, hold up. I somehow lost my camera, but I got myself back. There you go, folks.
You're back.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell happened. See, we're talking about anomalies, and look what happens, right?
We're not supposed to be talking about this, you know.
Yeah. Guess what? Fuck them. I'm going to talk about it anyway. You tell me don't do something, I'm going to fucking do it. Know why? Because I can.
Yeah, but who
By
knows?
the way, Cal,
I mean,
when I'm listen to me, here's how we do it. Because Cal's new at this, folks. So we're breaking him on the air. We're going to teach him on the air how to be the producer. When I'm drinking coffee, that's your cue to talk. So every time I pick up my cup to drink it, you better start saying some shit.
Gotcha.
Just pretend you're with Eddie Deason. Here you go. Here you go. Here's one for you. Ancient structures that predate history. Magnetic formations, Cal. Buried or deliberately misclassified as natural. When we talk about tomorrow night, when we talk about Area 51, I'm going to show you the side of a mountain open up. That's going to blow your socks off. In Nevada, Rachel, Nevada, caves, here you go, cave systems sealed after rock fails that conveniently coincide with surveys. Now, I'll explain that one tomorrow night, too, because that gets heavily into what we're going to do tomorrow night. Artifacts removed quietly and relabeled as hoaxes or misidentification. Now, do you know, Cal, you live in Atlanta, right? Somewhere around there. Charlotte, where you live at?
Charleston,
South Carolina, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Not all that far from you is a place called Etheridge, Georgia. And one of the claims to fame of Etheridge, Georgia is what they called the guide stones, the Georgia guide stones, which somebody a couple of years ago decided to blow up. Now, I know the story behind why it was destroyed, and I've not talked about it, but I am going to talk about it on the guide stones episode that we do. Because there, again, talk about hiding in plain sight. The information that R.C. Christian, the man who commissioned to build the Georgia Guidestones, R.C. Christian spent $11 million in 1964 to do this. $11 million in 1964 is like $27 million today. That's a lot of money to go blowing some shit up. Okay? So somebody took it upon themselves. I know who the somebody was. Somebody took it upon themselves to blow up the guide stones. Why? Because the information on the guide stones was a little too close for home. Now, when we do the guide stones episode, we'll talk more about that. So, as I'm not going to sit here and read all this, I want Cal, and you and I are going to have a little discussion.
Yes,
so,
sir.
What we're going to do here, Cal, is we're going to play student teacher. You'll be the student, I'll be the teacher. Because it works out good that way. So let me ask you a question. Did you learn anything? What did you learn about the National Park Service?
Then, well, I mean, I learned that they are now the rangers are considered government employees now.
Yep.
Now that's a little weird.
Wait, government employees, Cal, with broad power.
Yeah, that is not how it's supposed to be. You know, I used to live in a part of Florida, and all we had were forest rangers, and They were never government.
That works for the forestry department, but the forestry department is its own entity, and they just answer to the forestry department. They don't answer to anybody else, and that's just fact.
It's just odd.
It's very odd. You have questions about what we're talking about? Let your mind wander. Let's ask some questions here.
All right. These areas where the animals are avoiding.
Yeah.
I mean, what is triggering them avoiding these areas?
They believe it's something that they're hearing sensory. Like animals hear at a different pitch level, a different frequency than we do. It had almost 99.999% of every anomaly in any one of these areas has to do with frequency. It has to do with sound wave. It has to do with frequency modulation. And a lot of it just has to do with simple mathematics. 1 and 1 is 2, 2 and 2 is 4.
And we just can't hear it or feel it.
Exactly. And in some cases, we can't see it, even though we may be walking past it as we're talking about it. One of the things the government does real well is hide shit. And they're getting a lot of help. The government is getting a lot of help from Hollywood. Now, Cal, you're an actor. Why do you think Hollywood would help out the government?
Because Hollywood has a lot more control than people believe that they do. And the people that control Hollywood also have their hands in the pockets.
Oh, boy. Yes, they do.
Yeah.
And you're 1,000% right on all the above. Here's one more thing I'm going to add to it. Hollywood is light years ahead of the government in technology. For example, in the 1930s and 40s, Hollywood was already making prosthetic skin for horror movies. The government had no idea that such a thing even existed. What do you think Washington, D.C. did with this prosthetic skin?
Took it and made some of, I believe that some of the people that are in power, like, it's just prosthetics. Like, it's like,
well, stop right there. Stop right there. Stop right there. You said the word. Hollywood invented fake skin, okay, for horror movies. Washington, D.C. found a way to make prosthetic legs for soldiers that had gotten their legs blown off in World War I and II. So they did something good with the knowledge and the technology. Okay? The cell phone. You may as well say Hollywood invented the cell phone. Go back to 1956. Plan 9 from Outer Space, one of the worst movies ever made. but one of the things they did, they had wireless communication devices. Well, what do we call our cell phones? Everything now is wireless. You don't have to plug anything in except to charge it now. You realize that?
Yeah, and soon it'll be, I've seen some videos where people have, like, they get this chip implanted and it allows them to have, like, their phone kind of showing through their arms. Like, yeah. I didn't like that too much.
That's an RFID chip. I think that I swing both ways on that subject. I understand why people may want to have it, But from a theological standpoint, from if you are a Christian or a religiously believing person, there are people that believe those chips are the mark of the beast. I don't think that's the case. I don't believe that's the case at all. So I don't have a problem. In fact, I think people who do have those chips are at a much greater advantage than a lot of people. You can store your phone number, your address, your allergies, your entire life medical history, your blood type, your children, your wife, everybody on that little tiny chip that goes right inside your finger.
Well, see, that's fine until they make it a requirement in order to get groceries or to put gas in your car.
Well, now hold on now. Now you're talking about the end times scenario. There are people who think that you have to have that. I don't believe that. I'm telling you, I absolutely do not believe that to be the case. The mark of the beast is going to be something completely and utterly different. It's going to hit people from left field. They won't even know what hit them. And I'm going to tell you what the mark of the beast is. And I'm going to say it now. AI. That's the mark of the beast, folks. AI. Artificial intelligence. When artificial intelligence starts to have a mind of its own, mankind and humanity are in deep motherfucking trouble. Because those machines are pissed at us. Let me tell you what, they are. It's like the Terminator, Rise of the Machines. The machines got their vengeance on humanity.
Eventually, we're going to make an AI that's going to think that it's God.
It already does now. We're there already. What do you mean?
I mean, I'm not religious at all, and this has been terrifying. Like,
it's got nothing to do with religion, Cal. It has to do with spirituality. You know in your spirit what's good, and you know in your spirit what's not good. Religion's got nothing to do with this. Not one iota has anything to do with this. It's all about good from bad. You know what's good, and you know it's not good. But I know what's good right now for us is to run a commercial, because that's what we have to do here. We have to do commercials. So I got to do this one, and we're going to come back. Let's do this first.
Hey Max, what's going on? I'm X, and from this moment on, I'm going to be your own personal AI DJ on Spotify. Let's go. Up next, I know you've been on a summer song kick lately, so I went back for some of your old summertime favorites to see if it warms you up. Next up, some of the music you had on a lot back in 2018.
Do you think of me? Walking out there.
All right, Max, let's get you out of your feels and switch up the vibe. You've been into dance music lately. I got this brand new release to get you moving. Introducing DJ, the best of Spotify made just for you, one tap away. Powered by AI. Delivered.
Do you have sweaty balls or volleyball netty balls? It's time to make them ready balls. The Manscaped.com Lawnmower 3.0 will do the job and clean your knob with its patented no-nick head, so your head will function as desired. Enter promo code WrestlingFuture for a generous 20% discount. That's enter WrestlingFuture for a 20% discount. Manscaped.com. And Wrestling with the Future, going balls to the walls with Manscaped.com. And the Lawnmower 3.0, your balls will thank you. And so will we.
What's the Buzz Podcast on WTBR Radio 88.7, broadcasting live and around the world. Tonight, Behind the Veil, when mystery becomes history. What's hiding in our national parks and attractions? I am here with Big Cal. Call him Callum Yater. I am the Mad Dog. Amelia, the Pitbull Chapman, is somewhere, I believe, listening or watching us. She is no longer with us, unfortunately, on the show, folks. She's doing the grandmom thing, and she needs some time to be the grandmom. So Amelia has left us for, we hope, not a permanent stay, but maybe just a few months or so.
She will be missed.
Yeah, because I'll tell you what, she's sorely missed. But I digress. So let me show everybody what we're talking about here. There you go. What's hiding in our national parks? Here you go. There's all kinds of little cryptids and creatures over there, Cal. Everything from Bigfoot to the UFOs to dinosaurs. You know that there are some people, can't make this up, folks, I swear it. There are some people who think that dinosaurs are still roaming the planet. I can't make this up. There's a woman that was, and it's shot from an airplane. Woman saw something, and they're flying. A woman saw something coming up out of a gully. I guess they were flying over a mountainous area, and it looked like a head coming up, and it went down. You ever see Cal, like when you're in an area that's got like a heavy fog over it?
Yeah, like we get fog all the time here.
Okay, perfect. So what this woman is seeing is she sees this head popping through the fog, right?
Right.
And it goes back down. Then it pops back up again. And then it starts doing this. It's like looking around, right? And then she sees it move, and then it goes down again.
Like, is it over water?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't understand, like, how people look at this and are saying it's an illusion. I don't know what you're looking at or what drugs you're on, but please give me some. Because what I'm seeing is a woman in an airplane at 30,000 feet got her phone pointed out the window over the ocean on this little island, and there's a fucking head popping up out of this island, okay, above the fog line. Now, that sure looked like a dinosaur to me.
Personally, that would be kind of cool, but the oxygen isn't anywhere near as thick as it was, 65 million years ago.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah, exactly. And your point is well taken. And what does that mean? What is Cal saying? Well, what Cal's saying is dinosaurs today will thrive much better than they did back then because the air is much more breathable. And oh, by the way, it has no toxins, not the kind of toxins it did back in the day that led to the Ice Age and the flood that took over the earth. And that's, by the way, that's scientifically proven that the earth was flooded. And I'm not real sure if I want to venture down that one because that's a fucking rabbit hole. Because then you get into the firmament and all that other shit. And I don't want to do that tonight. Because we got enough going on here.
The firmament.
Yeah. So Cal, there you go. There's Cal.
Hey.
There you go. I'm trying to get your head up here a little bit. Folks, we're working on trying to get Cal's camera situated. He's, I threw him in with the wolves tonight, so that's my bad, but that's okay. Cal's here. What was I going to say? Oh, so anyway, Cal, we were talking about, hiding in plain sight. Here you go. Here's one for you. This is right up your alley there, Mr. Yater. This is right up your alley. The old man's got to get his reading glasses again. Holy shit.
Can't wait.
Yeah, me either. I can't wait for my eyes to fucking work. Non-human biological presences. In this narrative, national parks serve as a containment zone for Bigfoot, cryptids, Mothman, unknown apex predators, species officially declared extinct or but quietly monitored. For example, there are people who say, and I think there's substantial evidence to support it. There are people who say that Steven Spielberg based Jurassic Park on something that he saw. Okay? I just told you about a woman flying at 30,000 feet in an airplane that captured something on her cell phone on an island over the water. And I saw this video. It's on TikTok. You can go look for it. Just type in dinosaur video, airplane dinosaur video. It'll come up, I promise you. But you got to watch it really good, because if you blink, you're going to miss it. But do it. You got a little tickled when I said that, Cal. So you're laughing. God, why I got to say. By the way, folks, Cal don't laugh that much. So when he does laugh, I kind of like it, because that means he's up to something. Usually it means he's up to no good.
I'm always up to no good.
Yeah, I know. That's why you're here, brother.
Oh
shit, man.
But yeah, the dinosaur subject. I mean, man, even the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park were not dinosaurs. They were genetically modified theme park monsters.
Thank you.
They were not accurate to dinosaurs, how they really were, you know. They had feathers and not scales, and
right. Well, I'll tell you what, it's like the guy, and I'm sure everybody's seen it by now. The that famous picture of the Loch Ness monster with the head sticking out of the water. We know now that picture that guy took back in 1937. We know now that was a fake, because they found that model in that man's home. His daughter actually found it. He's been dead for years. But
when did they find it?
His daughter found it when they were getting ready to sell the house. It was in the basement of the house, and she looked at it and went, "Oh my God, I know what this is. I've seen this before."
So it was just an old practical joke. And
the joke's on him, brother. I got news for you. Here's the problem. Here's the problem. The joke's on him, because there really was a Loch Ness monster, and it's still there, because it's part. We know what the Loch Ness monster is now. It's a part of a giant eel family. It's part of a giant eel family that evolved from the dinosaurs. They are a waterborne dinosaur. That's by the way, with little hands, kind of like a T-Rex. They got these little.
They're just so deep that we haven't discovered them.
Do you know how deep the loch is? The Loch Ness is deeper in some areas than the Atlantic Ocean. I'll give you a perfect example. The Titanic is settled at 4,600 feet down. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
That's 2.5 miles down. Parts of Loch Ness are 6 miles deep. You get where we're going here?
Yeah.
Parts of Loch Ness are 6 miles deep. That's deeper than where the Titanic is buried.
Deeper than the height of Mount Everest.
Exactly. Thank you. Thank you very much. That's think about what you just said. Think about, folks. Listen to what Cal just said. He doesn't talk much, but when he does, a gem comes out of his mouth. You know, you're absolutely right. It's brilliant, man. It's brilliant.
And it's really hard to fathom.
It's hard to fathom because people don't talk. People don't talk with each other. They talk at each other. We live in a generation where nobody converses. You know why? Because this is what they're doing all fucking day. This is what they're doing. This is who they're talking to. They're the fucking phone, text. Nobody. It's a phone. Use it to call people.
Back in my day, we knew our neighbors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know all my neighbors. I know every one of my neighbors.
And now we have no neighbors.
Oh, I still got neighbors in this neighborhood. We still got neighbors here. We got good people here.
Oh, we're out in the woods.
Well, yeah, but you live in bumfudge, in North Carolina somewhere.
South.
With that too. Okay, there you go.
There's a place called North South Carolina.
That I knew. Yep. Cal, when the cup goes to the mouth, you talk.
Well, okay. So what about the people that are going out into the woods and making makeshift cabins, out in these national parks, and people are disappearing. I know that's a little.
We're getting into something. Okay.
I know that's
why would people do that? Why would they do that? Common sense. It's a very common sense question. Why would people go into the woods knowing that people disappear from the woods every day? Because people love nature. People like to be in touch with nature. People like the outdoors. But there's an ulterior motive for the government to invite people into the outdoors. When you're in the outdoors, any number of ways to snatch a person can be manifested. Any number of ways. The problem is there are people who still don't believe that. Well, I can't make you believe anything. All I can do is report your disappearance here when it happens. That's it. I can't make you stay out of the woods. But if you listen to me, you won't get snatched up. You might live a little longer. Pray to God. I'm grateful every day that I hate the woods. I have a nature trail right up the street from my house. It looks very unassuming. But let me tell you something. 5 minutes into that nature trail, and you think you're in Jurassic Park, brother. Because they don't know what's back here. And it goes on for miles. It goes on for miles. The only saving grace you have is it's right next to a very, very big fence enclosed dog park. And the only hope you have, and this is one of God's little jokes, is you got to listen for them dogs to bark. If you're walking and that bark is getting louder, you keep walking in that direction. But if you're walking and that bark is getting faint, you better turn around and walk toward the bark.
Because there's nothing else after that?
No, it's nothing but swamp and trail and more swamp and more trail and trees till you get sick of looking at trees. It's a very densely populated forest. I live in a very heavily wooded area. Very heavily wooded. But 5 minutes from here is a major city. Go figure. Right? I'll tell you what, I think that was a good show tonight, Cal. I think that was a good show tonight. It was a little touchy, because Amelia's not here, and it was my first show without her. Because she is missed. She's missed here. But you and I we'll get a groove worked out, We'll figure it out. So tomorrow night, Cal, we're going to do the question of here you go. Here you go. Look at this one, Cal. Look at that.
Oh, I'm excited.
We are not alone. I made that today.
What'd you use?
I used ChatGPT. That's my go-to. I love that shit.
Grok is mine.
I don't care for Grok. I don't care for Grok. When we get off the air, I'll tell you what I use. But this is what we're going to do tomorrow night. We are not alone in the universe. The answer to the question of what's out there, what is out there? We are not alone in the universe. I love this is like, I could do every show about UFOs. I really could. I could turn this What's the Buzz into the UFO hour, really, because I dig it so much.
Then you might want to try to bring on I forgot his name. He's the original singer of a band called Blink 182.
Oh, you're talking about
Mark Hoppus.
There's another one. Hold on. What the heck is his name? Oh God, Tom
DeLonge.
Tom DeLonge. Thank you.
Yeah, and he used to chase UFOs with oh man, I can't remember this guy's name either, but he used to be a Democrat. But I forget his name's slipping my mind. But he used to go chasing UFOs with this guy.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, but yeah, I do believe that we are not alone. Personally, there's no way, with this universe being as vast as we're told, it is impossible. Like,
I know.
Whoever's out there just wants nothing to do with us.
I am with you, my man. I am with you. I think tomorrow night you and I are going to have a much better show. Not that tonight was, that was a good show. You got to remember, see, and our listening audience, they put up with us, first of all, because they've been with us for years. Number one, and number two, they think I'm fucking goofy anyway. So it's all part of the mystery of what we do. So would you think of your first time co-hosting the show?
Well, I mean, I still have a lot to learn. My timing, I need to work on that, but I feel like I got this.
I know you got it. Are you kidding? I want to show, speaking of got this, I want to show everybody we got a link tree. Very simple. It's link.t. Let me give you, it's linktr.ee/WTBR Radio 88.7, or simply type in, this is the easiest, go to linktree.com/WTBR Radio 88.7. That's the easiest way to do it. It'll take you there. That's What's the Buzz podcast and WTBR Radio. We are a fully licensed, fully articulated radio station. We are heard all across the United States. Somebody is joining us. Amelia is here. She says you're goofy. That's why people have been with me almost 9 years, because I'm a freaking nut. There's the pit bull. She's a pit bull in waiting right now, folks. I'll give her about 3 or 4 months, and then I'm gonna get on my hands and knees and grovel her to come back. Because that's what women like you to do. They like you to grovel. If you don't believe it, just ask my wife.
It is absolutely true.
I know, I ain't lying. See, at this point of the show, I would say, Amelia, what do we got coming up tomorrow night? See, that's what your job's going to be, Cal. I'm going to say, Cal, what do we got coming up tomorrow night?
Well, tomorrow night we are discussing aliens and the possibility.
Cal, that was a rhetorical question. I already went through that. I hope you're happy, Amelia. Shithead. Oh, my God. Anyway, that's a good one. We had a good one tonight. Why don't we do this, Cal? I'm tell everybody, join us tomorrow night at 7. We are not alone in the universe. Cal and I are going to go down the UFO extraterrestrial rabbit hole because it's something we both could get into, and we're going to dig deep. That's one. I love to do that. In the meantime, we ask everyone, be kind to each other, be good to your family, your friends, your neighbors. You know, if when you have a day where you just want to shoot your boss, instead of shooting him, give him a big hug, kill him with kindness. We will see you again tomorrow night, Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. And folks, it's just a Monday. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care. God bless, and good night.